Giving all honor and praise to Yahweh by Hashem Mashiach, Yahweh Shah, Shabbat Shalom, Israel, man. I hope your ears are open today, man, to receive God's word. Hope these words go into your spirit and start bringing you up, waking you up, building you up. Because that's what we came to do when we have these classes, when we go on the streets. Anytime we talking to people, we here to edify our people and raise our people up. So I hope that you in the spirit and you stay in the spirit and listen to the words of the Most High God as we break this down. The name of this class is going to be the summing up of things. Isaiah 14, verse 1 through 23. Summing up of things. Isaiah 14, chapter 1 through 23. And I like to go ahead and when I start class, I like to dive right into it. So like we're gonna start. And make sure right now, when you go to Isaiah 14, go ahead and put if you got a bookmark or you gotta put it there on that page, because we're gonna be going from that page back to that page. So go ahead and mark it, so you won't be having to look for it every time we have to go back. Right? You start at what's name? Let's start at Isaiah 14 and verse 1.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 14 and verse 1. For the Lord will have mercy on Jacob and will yet choose Israel and set them in their own land. And the strangers shall be joined with them, and they shall cleave to the house of Jacob.
And that's one thing we got to understand too. When they say about they're going to cleave, a lot of people thinking right now that means right now we need to be friends with them. Right now somebody that came and say, hey, we want to do what y'all doing. No, that is not this time right now. That is another time. Let's go to Psalms 102 and verse 13.
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 102 and verse 13. Thou shalt arise and have mercy upon Zion, for the time to favor her. Yea, the set time is come.
Now is the time right now when we about to be getting favor instead of getting the curses that's being on us, man. This is what's about to go down with us. This is about what's go down at the end of all these things that's going on in the world. All the things that we've been through as a nation of people, all the struggles we go through, all the paying all our tax dollars, working hard and giving it to the man. This is what it's that set time now for us to come up out of this thing. Let's go to Isaiah 41 and verse 8.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 41 and verse 8. But thou, Israel, art my servant.
Israel is what?
Art my servant.
That's one thing y'all can use right now. It's telling you who the servants of the Most High God is. Everybody does not serve the Most High God. The servitude for the Most High God is only given to Israel. Read.
But thou, Israel, art my servant, Jacob, whom I have chosen, the seed of Abraham, my friend.
The seed of what?
The seed of Abraham, my friend.
And then that's another cut to anybody who's thinking that when they talk about Abraham in Romans, it's talking about the children of Israel. That seed line. So a lot of times Christians come at you with we all children of Abraham. First of all, we not all children of Abraham.
That's right.
It was people already present remember Abraham fled from a people before he had his first children. So he wasn't the father of all nations, he was the father of many nations.
That's right.
And it was the seed out of that nation, out of those nations he chose, which were you people that's sitting here. You people that's well, some of y'all online, because I know we got some Edomites be coming in and checking stuff out.
Let's prove that right quick. Yeah, you know we got to. Which one? Right?
Romans 9 and 7. Go to Romans 9 and 7.
No, no, yeah.
You gotta do that.
This is the book of Romans, chapter 9 and verse 7. Neither because they are the seed of Abraham are they all children.
Neither because they are the seed of Abraham are they all children. We're talking about singular. Watch this.
But in Isaac.
But in who?
But in Isaac.
A specific bloodline. This is the way you cut that up. Well, we all Abraham, so we all got children. Stop. In the seed of Abraham in Isaac's lineage. Right? Read on.
Shall thy seed be called.
Read on. Ages didn't kick it. Read.
That is, they which are the children of the flesh, these are not the children of God.
Read on.
But the children of the promise are counted for the seed.
The children of the promise are counted for this seed. This singular seed that we're talking about. Like we said, Abraham was the father of many nations, but we're going into the seed, the bloodline, right? The specific lineage of why we are that great nation, right? So that's the point.
If you read up in 9, it'll tell you who the promise is for. So that's Israel too. Yeah, read up, read down. Well, you can read the whole Bible.
Say read up, read down, read
Read
all
cross,
around.
read sideways, diagonal, however you read it. It's back to Israel. Yeah.
Go to that.
Yeah. Let's go back to 41. Isaiah.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 41 and verse 8.
No, sorry.
Verse 9. This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 41 and verse 9. Thou, whom thou have taken from the ends of the earth, and called thee from the chief men thereof.
That's what. Remember, that's what Abraham came from. Chief men out of what? When he left. When he left from his own people. He said, "Get thee into the land. Get away from those people." Go ahead.
And said unto thee, Thou art my servant. I have chosen thee, and not cast thee away.
And you are not cast away, people. You are the children of Israel. Y'all are not cast away, despite what they thinking about, despite what they saying. It's funny how they'll say Israel is done away, but then claim that the Israelis are the Israelites. It don't make no sense. They don't know how to bounce their own lie around. They don't even know how to tell their own lie. But guess what? Don't worry about it. We're going to tell the truth here. Go ahead.
Verse 10, Fear thou not, for I am with thee. Be not dismayed, for I am thy God. I will strengthen thee. Yea, I will help thee. Yea, I will uphold thee with the right hand of my righteousness. Verse 11, Behold, all they that were incensed against thee shall be ashamed and confounded. They shall be as nothing.
They shall be as what?
They shall be as nothing.
I want y'all to keep that in mind. They shall be as nothing. And he really means nothing. Go ahead.
And they that strive with thee shall perish.
They shall what?
Shall perish.
But then they trying to say everybody can be saved. But he's saying anybody that came up against us, they shall be as nothing. So that don't mean that there's no way in the world everybody can be saved. Because whoever came up, whoever spoke bad about us as a nation? Who? Little Tommy Chang in the corner over there, they don't say nothing? He done spoke bad about it. All the nations have. Go back. Let's go back to Isaiah.
Hold on, let me get a precept
Go ahead.
real quick.
All right.
Jump over a chapter, go to Isaiah chapter 40 and verse 15. Precept what Captain McAbee just brought out, proving that the Most High God sees the other nations, or to make it plain, the other races as nothing.
Yep.
You get there, read that out.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 40, verse 15. Behold, the nations are as a drop of a bucket.
So the Most High God compares all the nations to a drop of a bucket. Meaning if you have a big bucket of water and you drop one drop out of that bucket, do you care about that? No. That's how the Most High God feels about the other people he has created. Read on.
And are counted as the small dust of the balance.
And they're like the small dust that you blow off the balance. Read on.
Behold, he taketh up the isles as a very little thing.
Read on.
And Lebanon is not sufficient to burn.
Meaning if they gave the whole land of Lebanon to sacrifice, it still wouldn't be enough to become God's chosen people. Read on.
Nor the beast thereof sufficient for a burnt offering.
So they couldn't sacrifice an amount of animals to become God's chosen people or to be counted as something to the Most High. Read on.
All nations before him are as nothing.
Read it again.
All nations before him are as nothing.
No, some nations.
All nations before him are as nothing.
Read on.
And they are counted to him less than nothing.
Less than what?
Less than nothing.
Read on.
And vanity.
And who?
And vanity.
So the thought may be is talking about all nations, so Israel might be included in that. Let's get some context. Jump up to verse 1.
Book of Isaiah, chapter 40, verse 1. Comfort ye, my people.
All people.
My people.
Read on.
Said your God.
Read on.
Speak ye comfortably to Jerusalem.
To all people.
To Jerusalem.
So when it's telling you, it's giving you the audience who it is talking about. Speak ye comfortably to who? To Jerusalem. What are those comfortable words? That all nations are nothing. Mm-hmm. That should, make brothers and sisters' spirit be on fire just by that. That's comfortable words that we need to hear because so many times we have been taught that we are nothing. Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
That's exactly how they try to treat us. They make us feel like we ain't nothing. Sometimes we begin to think that. I thought that before in my lifetime that we ain't nothing. Well, we don't get nothing, have nothing, and they won't teach us nothing.
That's right.
But the Most High is teaching us everything we need to know right now. Let's go to 2 Samuel chapter 22, verse 31.
The book of 2 Samuel, chapter 22, verse 31. As for God, his way is perfect. Mm-hmm. The word of the Lord is tried. He is a buckler to all them that trust in him.
And that's one thing we got to do. We got to trust in the Most High God. We got to believe what this Bible tells us, man. We got to understand when he's telling us, hey, look, we got enemies. They ain't no good for us. We got to start trusting in him. We can't keep thinking how we think sometimes. Because, man, we be deceived every time we go out that door. Every time we go to that job, we get deceived. It's a trap. That's why they doing something good for you. Talking to you nice. But they don't give a damn about you. At all. Let's go back. Now let's go to Isaiah 60 while we're in Isaiah. Let's go past what's now. And we're going to go to Isaiah 60 and start at verse 12.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 60, verse 12. For the nation and kingdom that will not serve thee shall perish.
Say so what?
Shall perish. Yea, those nations shall be utterly wasted. The glory of Lebanon shall come unto thee, the fir tree, the pine tree, and the box together, to beautify the place of my sanctuary. And I will make the place of my feet glorious. The sons also of them that afflicted thee shall come bending unto thee, and all they that despise thee shall bow themselves down at the soles of thy feet.
Did I start at 12? I want to start at 4. I'm sorry, Salaki. Yes.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 60, verse 4. Lift up thine eyes round about and see. All they gather themselves together. They come to thee. Thy sons shall come from far, and thy daughters shall be nursed at thy side. Then thou shalt see and flow together, and thine heart shall fear and be enlarged, because the abundance of the sea shall be converted unto thee. The forces of the Gentiles shall come unto thee.
They shall what?
Shall come unto thee.
They shall cleave unto us.
Verse 6.
But not at this time. Go ahead.
Verse 6. The multitude of camels shall cover thee. The dromedaries of Midian and Ephah, all they from Sheba shall come They shall bring gold and incense, and they shall show forth the praise of the Lord. All the flocks of Kedar shall be gathered together unto thee. The rams of Nabaioth shall minister unto thee. They shall come up with acceptance on mine altar, and I will glorify the house of my glory. Who are these that fly as a cloud, and as the doves to their window? Surely the isle shall wait for me, and the ships of Tarshish first, to bring thy sons from far, their silver and their gold with them, unto the name of the Lord thy God, and to the Holy One of Israel, because he hath glorified thee.
He is what?
He hath glorified thee.
This is why they got to cleave to us. They got to bring us everything they got. Yes, they going to cleave to you because you going to own everything. Your dog cleave to you. Why? Because you feed it. That's how they're going to be cleaving to us. Not because they being our friends now. Not because they done gave us coffee this morning. But because of the fact of the matter, when you, I can tell you right now, go take one of them Edomites or anybody else other than our nation home right now. They'll cleave to you because they gonna want a place to sleep. They gonna want a bed to lay in. They gonna want food to eat. They gotta cleave to you. Go ahead.
Verse 11, verse 10. And the sons of strangers shall build up thy walls.
They what?
And the sons of strangers shall build up thy walls.
They gonna cleave to you because why? They got work to do. And guess who is by? By your orders. And by the Most High God's orders. They got to cleave unto us.
Watch this. That goes back into the law, man. What law brother got that goes back into, man? What law brothers got? Deuteronomy chapter 4, man. Go. Brothers should have this, man. Right? Deuteronomy chapter 4, starting verse 4.
Book of Deuteronomy, chapter 4, verse 4. But ye that did cleave unto the Lord your God are alive, every one of you, this day.
So everybody that cleave to the Lord, guess what? Alive this day. I mean, guess what? We walking in the right spirit. But watch how it reads down, though.
Behold, I have taught you statutes and judgments,
Read.
even as the Lord my God commanded me,
Read on.
that ye should do so in the land whither ye go to possess it.
Because guess what? When we take hold of the possession of the land, guess what? We're going into the possession of this world again. When we start taking hold of this world again, back in order upon the rulership of the Most High, and guess what? Yahushua, guess what's going to happen? Read on.
Verse 6, keep therefore and do them.
We're going to be keeping the laws and we're going to be doing them, right? Read.
For this is your wisdom and your understanding in the sight of the nation.
While we keeping God's law, statutes, and commandments, guess what? We practicing on it right now, but guess what? When we make it to the kingdom, guess what else gonna happen, man? We're gonna be performing it, and all the nations gonna, guess what? Gonna cleave to that.
They got to. And
They ain't got no other choice, man, right? But watch it, don't read.
We shall hear all these statutes.
We
and
should hear
say,
God's law, statutes, and commandments and say, read.
surely this great nation is a wise and understanding people.
Ooh, we're gonna be like, ooh, boss is real nice. Yeah, they're gonna be like, boss is real nice. Just like how we say boss is real nice, he let me off for the Sabbath day. No, they're gonna be like, boss is real nice. He let us off for the Sabbath day, right? But read it though.
Verse 7. For what nation is there so great?
Read.
God so nigh unto them.
Because the reason why, guess what? We're gonna have God that's near us. We're gonna have the one true God that's really near to us. And when we call upon the Lord to do these things, guess what's gonna happen, man? It's gonna be performed. It's gonna be done. Right? Because we're gonna be saying it and we're gonna be doing it in righteousness, right? But read.
As the Lord our God is in all things,
Read.
that we can call upon him.
Everything we can call upon the Lord for, man. Verse 8 is the point.
Verse 8, and what nation is there so great that has statutes?
He said, what nation is there so great? We're going to be the greatest nation. Guess what? The Lord let us, just in the little small ramifications, guess what? We the greatest nation. But watch how we be the greatest, really the greatest nation when we go back into rulership, though. But read.
And what nation is there so great that has statutes and judgments so righteous as all this law which I set before you this day?
So guess what? Just like right now, this law, statutes, and commandments, guess what? It helps us build and grow through our day-to-day. But when we make it to the kingdom, watch how it magnifies that the whole world, guess what, will have to cleave to it.
Yeah.
Right?
And they're going to have to cleave also because the fact that the matter, the Most High God going to be with us. He gonna put us in rulership. And in order for them not to get perished or not to have the rod thrown up on their back, they gonna have to cleave to you. Because you know the law. They gonna, hey, I gotta walk with him because he know the rules. It's like if you go out of town, it's best to go out of town with somebody that knows the town, right? So you won't be in trouble. So you gonna cleave to that person. Hey man, I'm saying with you, so I don't want to go out. I don't want to go into bad spots. I don't want to get killed. So they gonna have to cleave to you.
Well, my bad.
Go ahead. No,
But like I said, and it's the time frame when it's going to occur, right?
Mhm.
That's what he's going to right now. Let's go to Ezra right quick, chapter 4, and show you that it's not the time right now. You see, like I said, you have people talking about, oh yeah, man, let's bring them in the congregation right now, right? Let's bring them in there right now. What they gonna do right now? They gonna mess some stuff up. Every time something great of our people was organized, who unorganized? The heathens, man.
Claiming that they cleave to us.
That's right. Ezra 4 and read start at 1.
The book of Ezra, chapter 4, verse 1. Now when the adversaries of Judah, the adversaries of Judah and Benjamin,
The adversaries, our enemies, the heathen nation, right? Read.
heard that the children of the captivity builded the temple unto the Lord God of Israel.
Read.
Then they came to Zerubbabel and to the chief of the fathers and said unto them, let us build with you, for we seek your God as ye do.
Let us deal with y'all, right? Bringing them in the camps now, right? Let us go on and deal with y'all. Let us start it right now. The Bible has a particular time frame that you have to follow, right? Read.
And we do sacrifice unto him since the days of Esarhaddon, king of Ashur, which brought us up hither.
Read on.
But Zerubbabel and Jeshua and the rest of the chief of the fathers of Israel said unto them,
What did they say to him?
you have nothing to do with us.
Nothing to do with us right now. So-called white man, you ain't got nothing to do with us right now. Kick rocks, man. Go be with your people. Go do y'all thing, right? Go rob some banks. Go do whatever you want to do right now, right? Whatever y'all want to do. But right now, you have nothing to do with us until the time period comes for them to build back up the kingdom, right? Read.
You have nothing to do with us to build a house unto our God, but we ourselves together. But we ourselves
Together. Us. We the ones building back up this great nation. How in the hell the so-called white man or any other heathen nation gonna build up the so-called black nation, man? How they gonna build us up? When all, like I said, the only thing they didn't do was tore us down. And everybody had a part to play in the reap.
But we ourselves together will build unto the Lord God of Israel, as King Cyrus, the king of Persia, had commanded us.
Read 4.
Then the people of the land weakened the hands of the people of Judah.
So when you let them in the wrong time, when they get in here in the wrong time, what do? Read that again.
Weakened the hands of the people of Judah.
They start weakening us, man. Right? That's not our strength. That's our weakness, man. Building with other nations, trying to be with other heathen people doing their customs, that weakens us, right? Read that again.
Then the people of the land weakened the hands of the people of Judah
And did what?
and troubled them in building.
And troubled them in building. So right now, we building this thing ourselves, right? And when we get this thing back right, the Most High God get us back in our land, then it's going to be a time frame for them to build it back up. Not right now.
Them the ones that'll be at while you at work, you trying to build up your house and you look around, man, where my hammer go? And you look to each side, he'll say, the last time I seen it, it was sitting over there. Then the saw gone. Now the nail's gone. Well, the last time I seen it, you know that he always said the last time he seen it, meaning he was the ones who took it. And that's all they getting in this house to do. They ain't getting in the house to help you build. They getting in the house to make sure you don't build. Think about it. You think they want to help us build when they run everything? After they know who we are?
Or do you think they want to make you a great nation again?
No doubt.
Have you ever seen a make niggas great again? Nah, they say make America great again. Because they know they are Babylon. They are spiritual Babylon. They ain't gonna say make a nigga great again. Hell nah. They want to put you back over there where you belong. Oh, that's why they watered down all your information. Why they come to tell you stuff. Go ahead.
And that's how Hezekiah got in trouble. Y'all should know the story, right? Go 2 Kings, man. Y'all should know the story, man. What happened when Hezekiah let them into the house?
Sold them everything.
Right? That's crazy though. Right? I'm gonna get straight to the point. Jump down verse 14.
The book of 2 Kings, chapter 20, verse 14. Then came Isaiah the prophet unto King Hezekiah and said unto him, What said these men? And from whence came they unto thee? And Hezekiah said, They are come from a far country, even from Babylon.
So Hezekiah telling Isaiah, look, man, these people came from a far country, man. They came from Babylon, right? But read.
And he said, What have they seen in thine house?
So he asked him, said, man, you brought them in your house, so what did they see in your house, right? Read.
And Hezekiah answered, All the things that are in my house
Read.
have they seen.
Read.
There is nothing among my treasures that I have not showed them.
This is what happens when we let them in. Because guess what? Why you think Esau come, they ask, we could go out to the street and teach right now. Guess what? Esau will come and ask, well, what are y'all doing? How do y'all do it? Where do y'all buy this from? What's the setup? They want to know everything. Guess what? Our people walk past it like they don't give a damn. They want to mind their own damn business, right? Well, watch it though. Read.
Verse 16. And Isaiah said unto Hezekiah, Hear the word of the Lord.
So this is what the Lord said to Hezekiah, man. Read. He said, hear the word of the Lord. So it's coming straight from the Lord, right? Read.
Behold, the days come that all that is in thine house,
Read.
and that which thy fathers had laid up in store unto this day,
Read.
shall be carried unto Babylon.
See, guess what? You let them in, and guess what happened? Now this stuff is carried away into Babylon.
Done robbed us.
Done robbed us blind. Why? Because we let them in the house. Right? Read.
Nothing shall be left, said the Lord.
So he said, guess what? He bragged to Isaiah, saying, man, I showed him everything. Ain't nothing in here that I didn't show. He said, well, everything you got, he gonna take everything. He ain't gonna leave nothing either.
And be careful who you let in your house. You be letting a lot of unrighteous people in there. Y'all think they're in there. They might not be stealing your products in your house. They stealing part of your spirit to bring it out of there.
I'm gonna tell you, I used to go to camp. I used to think that the so-called white man was coming out there to actually try to defend Christianity or their doctrine. They're not doing that. They're coming out there to see how much we've learned and to take away from our knowledge, man, and put it with theirs and try to build on their scheme. That's all they do. They're not out there to get the truth. They out there to come and see what you learned, and now they want to try to infiltrate and pull that in and make themselves more knowledgeable. Well, now we can try to hit them on this or try to hit them on that, right? They're not trying to learn.
Yeah, that's why they listen to the precepts. And then what's funny is after we done broke them off on something, they go back and study what we done broke them off of, and then try to find something to counteract that on the next drill.
That's right.
And we be knowing that. Y'all just learning. That's why a lot of times, man, I'm not even finna deal with you no more. I be wanting to debate with them sometime. I'd squash it. I'm gonna talk bad, get your butt out of here, and teach my people. Because sometimes that's all they come out there for, is to disrupt Israel. So sometimes I know y'all be like, man, Mac be talking to them. Yes, I'm running them off. I know these brothers like to edify them. That's fun sometimes. I like to run them off. And we had made an agreement. They were like, man, we'll teach them, and then if they ain't what's the name, hey, Mac, we call you. We have said that before. Yeah, because they know I'm going to run them off. Because sometimes they'll be trying to steal the knowledge that we have, man, and try to study that. But it don't matter because the Most High run this thing anyway. Let's go back to Isaiah, and let's start at verse 2. 14. See how much was in that verse 1? That's verse 1. I bet y'all didn't get all that out of it, huh? Verse 1. Man, we going to verse 2. Go ahead, Al.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 14, verse 2. And the people shall take them.
They said what?
And the people shall take them and bring them to their place. And the house of Israel shall possess them in the land of the Lord for servants and handmaids. And they shall take them captives, who captives they were. And they shall rule over their oppressors.
Man, that's crazy because, boy, that is so straight to the point. Nobody want to read that one. Boy, as many debates you ever heard, as many Christianity people run their mouth about everything. Why they never bring that out? You haven't heard not one pastor ever say that verse. Let's go to Isaiah. Stay in Isaiah. Let's go to 49. No, they won't even bring it up. We done brought it up a million times. They be like, they don't even want to discuss it. Don't want to discuss it. Go ahead. 22. I'm sorry, Shalaki. Verse 22. Isaiah 49, verse 22. Chapter 49.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 49, verse 22. Thus saith the Lord, behold, I will lift up my hand to the Gentiles, and set up my standard to the people. And they shall bring thy sons in their arms, and thy daughters shall be carried upon their shoulders.
See, he said, I will lift up my hand to the Gentiles. See, now everybody thinks he's going to raise up the Gentiles. But what did it tell us in 14 and 2? They're going to be our what? Let's see why he raised a hand to the Gentiles. Read.
And the king shall be thy nursing father.
They what?
And king shall be thy nursing father.
All these rulers of these nations, all these ones in the high places, the senators, the congressmen, and all these other ones that run these other countries. He said, thy king shall be, go ahead.
And king shall be thy nursing father.
Hold on real quick. What is a nursing father? Any brother, raise your hand. What's a nursing father? What you got to use?
Like a butler.
Like a butler. Someone to take care of your kids. Because guess what? We are the kings and the priests of this planet Earth. Guess what? Mammy had to do it in the big house.
Yeah.
Hey, it's what you call trading places. So the Most High God is saying what they done did to us, they're going to get paid back there. Their kings, the prestigious of their people, are going to have to be what? To take care of our children. To be our called on hand butlers.
Yep. When our children say, I'm thirsty, how much ice do you want? That's what they're going to be responding. Okay? That's how they're going to be nursing fathers to our children. They made us like that. What's so bad about it? We loved our, they made us to love their children better than we loved our own. We left ours in the shack. Well, we was in the big house, serving master.
Yeah, well, we still gotta leave our children in the shack and go somewhere big man.
Yeah, yeah.
Still gotta do it. Right?
Yeah. Go ahead.
And their queens, thy nursing mothers, they shall bow down to thee.
They shall what?
They shall bow down to thee.
They shall bow down. They shall bow down. Not because we tell them, because they know who ruling things. That's like when the king's sitting in the what's name, when you come into the king's presence in this throne, what the first thing you have to do, I know y'all done seen movies, they gotta bow down. So even when they come into our presence, they gotta bow down.
Show some respect.
Before they can even speak, bow down.
You gotta show some respect.
Yep, kiss the ring. No duh. Go ahead.
They shall bow down to thee with their face toward the earth.
With what?
With their face towards the earth. And lick up the dust off thy feet.
Man, boy, some of y'all gonna have that toe jam. They gotta lick. They gotta lick. You ain't gonna have them ashy corners on the back of your foot. They gotta lick it off. You're gonna have some moist feet. Might not have to use that Jergens no more. You use master's tongue.
And do y'all know what that's going into? Just how, guess what? It also goes, we're gonna bring it to modern day and we're gonna bring it to the future. Just how you see how a Negro kiss a so-called white man ass, they're gonna be kissing our ass too.
Exactly.
That's basically they're gonna be kissing. Guess what? When they talking about when you licking up the dust off somebody's feet, that means guess what? You got, man, I'm talking about, you got, what you call that, Sambo respect for somebody, you know what I'm saying? To lick up dust off, yo, master, you see, we see. Right? They're gonna have that type of respect. Right?
And that's cleaving like a summer gun. So you talking about that cleaving? Yes. They cleaving so much. Where your servant at? Get up right quick. Get up off this man. My feet clean now. That's the cleaving they gonna be doing. While they talking about, well, this one cleaved, so he in the, no, they ain't. They ain't did what the Most High God say. Our people be trying our best to save this so-called devil that we do in. We'll make up anything. They cleave. I remember somebody said that, well, I got a friend and they cleave to the Israel. They listen to videos and yeah, they watching videos with you to see how to take what you got. Yeah, when they cleave it, let them lick the dust off your feet. You'll see if they cleaving in. Let's go finish that up. Did we finish?
They shall bow down to the earth, bow down to thee, with their face towards the earth, and lick up the dust of thy feet, and thou shalt know that I am the Lord.
And that's how they gonna. We gonna know, and they gonna know, because they don't believe they gonna do this. Some of our people don't believe this gonna happen. That's why they claiming to cleave to them now, in their way of cleaving. But the way they supposed to cleave is the way the Most High God say cleave. We don't care about your definition of cleaving. We care about what God say cleaving is. That's what I want anyway. Forget that old. I don't want you. If he ain't serving me, I don't want him around me. I done been around too many that done did me dirty. Is that it on that?
The last part.
Yeah. For they shall not be ashamed that wait for me.
We should not be ashamed to wait for him. And y'all should be waiting for this. But people be claiming they're going to be a Christian. They want to do what this Bible say. But then they be like, man, I don't want my servant to do that. Don't worry about it.
It's just too much.
Give me yours. Give me yours.
It's just too much. I can't believe the Bible. It just says too much. Go to Revelation chapter 13, man. Verse 9 and 10, man. We're going to see. Let's read that up. See if it's saying the same thing, man. Right?
The book of Revelation, chapter 13, verse 9. If any man have an ear, let him hear.
We know everybody got some ears. But everybody can't hear though. But read this.
He that leadeth into captivity shall go into
And
captivity.
this just is how it is. They put us in captivity, so they're gonna have to do the same thing.
And that's an equal balance and a just God.
That's what I'm talking about. A just God.
That's justice, man. I don't even get. They be claiming that they love justice, but they don't want justice. Justice means send you Negroes to penitentiary. Go ahead.
He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword.
Read.
Here is the patience and the faith of the saints.
Because guess what? This is what we waiting on. It said this is the patience and this is what we waiting on, man. Isaiah chapter 49. Read that last part. Verse 22. 23. Yeah, the last part. For they shall.
Isaiah 49, verse 23. For they shall not be ashamed that wait for me.
Because guess what? They going and they got to go. They can't just escape it. Because guess what? The so-called white men and all the rest of the nation, they just want to be like, well, God loves everybody, so we'll be okay. We're gonna be okay. No, y'all going into captivity, man. Y'all gonna be slaves for real.
And he said they should not be ashamed for the ones that wait for him. And that's what a lot of our people be ashamed. I don't want to do that to them. I don't want that to happen. I do. I do. I'm tired, man. Shoot, I'm tired in the mug, man. Shoot, every time you turn around, you got to work another week. Pay bills. God dang it, man. I'm tired of paying they have. And they still own the stuff I'm paying for. Tired, man. I ain't ashamed. Squash that. Get down.
Read verse 23 again from the top, Bob.
Verse 23 from the top. And kings shall be thy nursing fathers, and their queens thy nursing mothers. They shall bow down to thee with their face toward the earth, and lick up the dust of thy feet.
Read on, Bob.
And thou shalt know that I am the Lord.
That part, and lick up the dust of thy feet, because the thought may be, even up in here, well, Christ didn't say that. What brother know where Christ said that? Where he was quoting that? Any brother know? Any brother know? Where my precept is at? Let's go to Revelation chapter 3, verse 9. Brothers got to learn to start seeing the Old Testament through the New Testament eyes, man, and vice versa. Let's see what Christ said, man. One of the classics, one of the comedies.
Read this out. The book of Revelation, chapter 3, verse 9. Behold, I will make them of the synagogue of Satan.
Read on, Doc.
Which say they are Jews and are not.
Read on.
But do lie.
But do what?
But do lie.
Read on, Doc.
Behold, I will make them to come and worship before thy feet.
Read that part again, Doc.
Behold, I will make them to come and worship before thy feet.
This is red letters. What Christ is literally saying this, man. Brothers got to learn to start seeing that through the scriptures, man.
So when you read that and he's quoting that from Isaiah, then you got to go to Isaiah and look at everything Isaiah was speaking on that. That's what he means, all of that. He figured you know the scriptures. To them that know the law.
Do brothers see that? Do sisters see that?
Now it's funny because boy, people in the world they don't even want. Oh no, why? Then you set up looking at the news, and then you get mad all the time at them. You get mad because they did this. You want to march because they did that. But now when God punishes them, hold on, don't do that. We was good marching. We was good protesting.
Man, let's get to my favorite, man. Psalm 137. It's Psalm 137. Let's see how we should be.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want to hear that, man.
No, we can't do that. Why you can't?
Why you so worried about them? We ain't worried about them. The Most High God worried about. He gonna do it. He's the one prophesied this time. So who are we to go against?
No doubt. You say you're on God's side.
That's right.
Let's see if he is.
I love God.
On God's side, then.
I just don't like what he's talking about.
Who are you, man? I just don't like what he's saying. So, what in verse 7?
The book of Psalms, chapter 137, verse 7.
Read.
Remember, O Lord.
Now, forget what they did.
Remember, O Lord.
The Bible continually tells the children of Israel to remember what the other nations did to them. Yet still, every time the other nations talk to you, what they tell you to do. Forget about it. Hey, forget about it.
You don't have to say it for another nation no more. Now I'm reading all back. Why we worried about what happened back then? What you mean?
Hey, and now it ain't even other nations. They said it's your own people. Why you still worried about slavery? Why you talking about slavery? Damn, because the Father told us to remember that, man. That's the only way you gonna keep that fire and desire in your heart to have what the Most High God is gonna do for us.
Mm-hmm.
Read that again.
Remember, O Lord, the children of Edom.
The children of Edom was going into who? Esau, the so-called white man. Read.
In the day of Jerusalem, who said, raise it,
What did they say?
raise it.
Man, they didn't care about sparing Big Mama in the cotton field. Little 4-year-old June bug was out there picking cotton and he didn't make his quota. You got your butt whooped for him and he got his butt whooped too. 20 lashes. They said raise it, man. Right? Rape, robbed, and murdered your ancestors, your people. They said raise it. Hit the little nigga boy with whatever, balls. Going ball, hitting us, playing games with us. Making us fight each other. Mandingo war and killing each other, man. They said raise it. He said remember that. Read.
Who said, raise it, even to the foundation thereof.
Read.
O daughter of Babylon.
Oh, who?
O daughter of Babylon.
This America. Be ready, read on.
Who art to be
Who
destroyed.
what?
Who art to be
This
destroyed.
thing's coming to an end, man. Read.
Happy shall he be.
Who should be what?
Happy shall he be.
We ought to be happy, man, for the things that the Most High God is going to put up on us, man. Happy shall he be. Read on.
That rewarded thee as thou hast served us.
And we ought to be happy that they're going to get the same reward that we got, man.
Mm-hmm.
Like you said, that's a just and fair God.
Yep.
You ought to be happy that he's going to turn the tables, man. That things are not going to be always on the downside for you. That now instead of you being a slave, instead of you having to go work 12 hours a damn day with a 15-hour lunch break, right?
15 minutes.
Yeah, 15 minutes a lot.
Feel like 15 seconds.
Nah, you know, I ain't been to the warehouse in a while. I'm trying to get back to it, but I ain't been in a while. 15-minute break, 12-hour shift. You know what? We need you to stay 4 hours long. Right? You ought to be happy that now things are going to be on their head, man. Instead of them in the warehouse in the office looking at you working, talking about, yeah, that's a hard working nigga. Now we're going to be in there talking about what's a hard working white boy, hard working boy. You ought to be happy for that, man. Read.
Happy shall he be that taketh and dashed thy little one, against the stone.
That's a problem, boy. People don't want to hear that, man. Hey, it's gonna be happy. You play hit the little nigga ball with baby with the ball, now we gonna play hit the little white boy with this foot. See how far we can kick this little ball. You wanna play field? Let's play field goal. You wanna play field goal with me? We about to line that thing up, boy. You only get 3 steps up. See how far you can go. Then we gonna go back and go to 5 steps and see how far you can go. Then we gonna go back to 10 steps. You ought to be happy, man. And if you don't have that same mentality, well then you don't believe in your God, man.
That's right.
It's just that simple, man. You're gonna be happy, man.
And think about it. They remember how they did you, but think about it, man. Some of your ancestors' body parts is in their house on the shelf.
Man.
To this day. To this day. I seen it with my own eyes. Doing deliveries in these people's house. They even had colored people only signs. He had a whole collection of stuff. Yes, fingers, ears, testicles, penises, all in jars, man. To this day, they passing down from generation to generation. Little Johnny would be getting your ancestors' ears when Daddy died. And we supposed to forget? They not forgetting. Why you think they said, let's make America great again? Meaning, let's go back to where we used to do these Negroes.
That's how they want to make America great again. Putting us back into real slavery. See, that work field into slavery right now. You think you ain't no slave right now because I can go live in Cedar Hill with the white folks. I can go get me a house out there in San Bernardino, California with the white folks. She's still a slave.
And for the ones that don't want to work, to think they're going to get away from working, guess what he got for you? He got them jail cells. He's going to put you to work one way or the other. One way or the other, you're going to go to work for him. Let's go to Isaiah chapter 66. And let's start at 18.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 66, verse 18. For I know their works and their thoughts.
Despite how you think that they might be good to you, the Most High know their thoughts. So we can't be going by what we think all the time. Because I ain't gonna lie, it be some of them I be coming across, man, they be good. You be like, man, they can't do nothing wrong with them. But the Most High know his thoughts. So I'm gonna have to believe I'm gonna have to believe the Most High. Because I can't see into his mind. But guess what? My God can. So I'm gonna have to believe what he say that's in their mind. I'm not gonna go by how they treat me. I'm gonna go by what God told me they really about. Go ahead.
For I know their works and their thoughts. It shall come that I will gather all nations and tongues, and they shall come and see my glory.
They're gonna see his glory. Go ahead.
And I will set a sign among them, and I will send those that escape of them unto the nations, to Tarshish, who in Lud, that draw the bow, to Tabor, to what is that? Joan, and to the isles of far off, that have not heard my fame, neither have seen my glory, and they shall declare my glory among the Gentiles.
He gonna use us to take care of this matter. So if you ain't ready for that, you ain't ready for this truth. If y'all soft-hearted, scared of him, got some kind of love for him, you ain't ready for this thing. You ain't ready for the Most High God. Quit lying to yourself. Just go back into the world, go to the club tomorrow or tonight, and just go have a good time.
The places that he just named, where he said Tarshish. Any brother know the ancient word for Tarshish? Brother's got to write that thing down. Sister's got to write that thing down. The ancient word for Tarshish is Spain. So it says Spain, Pool, Lou, Tubal, and Javin. Any brother know who Javin is? Javin is going into basically Japhet, but basically going into those places in Europe.
Yeah.
Because remember, Japhet got Europe, Shem got what we know as the Middle East, and Ham got Africa.
Yeah, that's pool and love.
So it's naming these ancient places in Europe.
Pretty much naming all the nations, really. He said, and they shall declare my glory among the Gentiles. And that's what's going to happen. Whether you like it, believe it, or want it or not, it's going to happen, y'all. If you say you believe the Bible, then you better believe that. You better believe it if you say you believe it. Quit half believe. I'm going to take what I like. I believe that part, but I don't believe that part. Don't matter. Don't matter. Because some of us think like that commercial. This is your mind on drugs. This is your brain on drugs. And we don't think right. We just crack it. We got to start thinking about how we think about things and start looking at how God thinks about it. He created all things. I'm pretty sure he knows what he's doing. Did we finish that? Where we stop at? Yeah, let me go ahead and get to him.
Verse 20, and they shall bring all your brethren for an offering unto the Lord.
They shall what?
And they shall bring all your brethren for an offering unto the Lord out of all nations.
Out of what?
Out of all nations.
Uh-huh.
Upon horses and in chariots and in litters and upon mules and upon swift beasts to my holy mountain Jerusalem, said the Lord.
Read.
As the children of Israel bring an offering in a clean vessel into the house of the Lord.
See, then you're going to take them, and guess what? When you bring that back to the Most High, you're going to show them, hey, I got it cleaned up. That rod of iron did work.
It's some heavy stuff. Because even in this is giving prophecy. Remember, the 2/3 are going to be destroyed over here in Babylon. And 1/3 will be what? Saved in the chariots. Taken over to the wilderness. But we'll still have what? Other of our people on that side of the world. Because this part is going to be totally destroyed. So guess what? The people that are still over there, like brothers and sisters don't know, we still have brothers and sisters that are in modern day slavery in places like Yemen.
Yemen, yeah, I was just going to say Yemen.
A lot of those Saudi Arabias and a lot of those countries
Parts
in
of Africa.
parts of Africa, parts of India, they're going to be bringing our people back to the Most High, man. Please accept this as an offering to not destroy us. That's what this is going into. Go ahead, up.
Go ahead, finish that up.
I did.
Yeah.
Verse 21, and I will also take them for priests and for Levites.
Like he said, he's gonna when they bring them back, he's gonna take them back into the fold as priests and Levites. Go ahead.
Said the Lord.
Go ahead.
For as the new heavens and the new earth, which I will make, shall remain before me, said the Lord. So shall your seed and your name remain.
So now our seed, now our people gonna remain. Instead of having abortions clinic at every goddamn black neighborhood we got around here, trying to kill our seed. That's exactly what they're trying to do. Cut this seed off. They come up with these new diseases not for their people. They people just get caught in the middle because this dang demon don't give a dang if they gotta kill his people to kill you. If I gotta kill you to get to, if I gotta kill them to get to you, they will. Go ahead.
And it shall come to pass that from one new moon to another, and then from one Sabbath to another, shall all flesh come to worship before me, said the Lord. And they shall go forth and look upon the carcasses of the men that have transgressed against me.
Every new moon, from one Sabbath to another, what we gonna do? We're gonna have to go back and see what the Most High God has destroyed. Every time they're gonna be sitting there burning. We're gonna be like going to the museum every week. Going to the museum every month.
And this something then, like you say, in the Christian church, they'll never bring this scripture up either.
That's right.
They'll never bring it up. Because guess what? You're gonna have to learn before we get to what we're going to go see, You're going to have to learn what new moon is
Uh-huh.
and learn what Sabbath is. You're going to have to learn both of them days, because on them days, guess what's going to happen? We're going to go look at them that transgress against the Most High. Right? So you better start to get what Christians, our Christian counterpart, y'all better learn the new moon. And you better learn the damn Sabbath day.
The real stuff, and do it out like it's Judges 5 and 11. Practice a righteous act. Right now, we're practicing how to live in the kingdom. That's why we always on our own people sometimes. Because we got to start learning how to practice to be in the kingdom. We can't be in the kingdom holding no grudges with each other. Mad all the goddamn time. You stay mad all you want. I got a kingdom. When you knock yourself out, I'm finna be happy. Mad now, but I'll be happy later. But you got to learn to be in the kingdom. You can't expect to get to the kingdom and learn it now. The most I'll be like, nah, I gave y'all teachers before this happened. So it ain't no excuse, especially for the ones in this class. None. Ain't gonna be no excuse. That's one thing I do. Boy, that's one of my main pet peeves. I cannot stand people that have an excuse every time something's said to them. Well, it's because,
For real, man. That's too much sometimes, man.
man.
That's just too much, man.
I remember my daddy used to say that, man, I don't want to hear no excuses, boy. My daddy leave you alone like a mug till you literally come back and say that I was wrong. That's first, what did I tell you that? When I first met him, the first thing I said, I don't like people who don't be around and can't say they wrong. They can't say, hey, man, my bad, I tripped out. Because you ain't no good. You no good for nothing. You got an excuse for everything.
And the point is, sometimes, guess what, man? You ain't got to argue the point. If you just wrong, just say, hey.
I'm wrong.
God dang it, man.
I'm wrong. I was wrong. Boy, what's so bad about it? Y'all are running that dang old white man when you think he finna fire you, but you'll be wrong all day long. I was wrong. Let me make up for it.
And you know you in the right. You'll take the wrong anyway.
Exactly.
Just because he's good. Their job is thing.
So when it comes to your brother, you always got an excuse. I was gonna be there. I know. But see, what that happened was, we love to say, what that happened was, let's go. Go back. Finish up. Where we at? Yeah, go ahead.
And they shall go forth and look upon the carcasses of the men that have transgressed against me. For their worms shall not die, neither shall their fire be quenched, and they shall be an abhorring unto all flesh.
They should be abhorrent unto all flesh. Now, them ones gonna be sitting there, gnashing the teeth in that everlasting fire, in that pit. And when every new moon, every Sabbath, we're gonna go back, look at them, and pray the Most High that we ain't in there. That we ain't in there. Yeah, cousin. You gonna see Jerome. Jerome gonna be gnashing the teeth. He gonna be there. You gonna see him. Tyrone down there. Donnell. You gonna see him every week.
Jasmine.
Tanisha. They gonna be there. You gotta go see him every week. Let's go to. I hope nobody named that Tanisha. I did not. Don't take that personal. Ain't nobody named Tanisha here. All right. I don't want nobody taking the person. Talking about me. Let's go back. Let's go. Stay in Isaiah. Let's go to 60 and 14.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 60, verse 14. The sons also of them that afflicted thee shall come bending unto thee.
See, and boy, when Christ was quoting, boy, he was dating and quoting a whole lot of Isaiah. Because there's no way around it, man. Go ahead.
Shall come bending unto thee, and all they that despise thee shall bow themselves down at the soles of thy feet, and they shall call the city of the Lord, the Zion of the Holy One of Israel.
They're going to do the same thing, man. It's all through these scriptures. And we just still on verse 2 over in 14. Oh, I say, precept, your Bible. It just broke that whole. I mean, man, you can't get no more precepts on that. That right there Shoot, did we leave any meat on the bone on that? We done ate the marrow out that bone. Let's go back to 14, Isaiah. And verse what? Verse 3 now. We at verse 3. See how we just see what all came out of just verse 1 and 2. Y'all claim y'all know that Bible though, huh? That's 1 and 2. See how much information in 1 and 2? See how many precepts in 1 and 2? Just in those 2 verses. See, that's what these brothers, I know him. He go through that whole Bible and precept that whole thing over and over. And then you still see him, and you see him, and you see him after they done precept their Bible just like that. And guess what they still doing when they hear something new? Oh, shoot, let me write that down. You would think, man, you don't got enough precept? I got some, we'll get some more. And that's how y'all Bible should look. There shouldn't be no room. You need 2 books, the Bible and then another one that look like this with blank pages so you can write the notes in there. Go ahead.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 14, verse 3. And it shall come to pass in the day that the Lord shall give thee rest from thy sorrow.
He shall give us rest. Man, can't y'all wait, boy? Man, I can't wait. I'm tired, man. I know y'all tired. Some of you ain't did nothing, but you're still tired.
So you look tired.
It be days I ain't went to work at all that week. But I'm like, man, I'm tired. Because the stress they put on your mind, man, you're going to get, it's no rest in this place. Go ahead.
That the Lord shall give thee rest from thy sorrow and from thy fear.
There you go. That's why you got to rest, because you got the sorrows and fears on you. Man, I ain't going to be able to pay these bills. I ain't going to be able to do this. I'm not going to be able to do that. I'm not going to, man, my child needs to go here. I can't get the child. All this, man, it's worrisome to the mind, man. You be tired and you don't know why. Because it's a lot of things affecting us, man, that they putting on us that we don't even realize. And that's another class. We wrestle not against flesh and blood, but a principality, the rulers of darkness, the rulers in high places. Those are the things we wrestle with. We don't even think about the pressures they putting on. Because we're looking at the things that they do to us physically, but we don't look at the things they do to us mentally. And that mental is dang near worse than the physical. Go ahead.
And from thy fear, and from the hard bondage.
And from the what?
And from the hard bondage.
From the hard bondage. Go ahead.
Wherein thou was made to serve.
We was made to serve these people, man. That put our bodies need rest, our minds need rest. Let's go to Matthew chapter 11. And we're going to start at verse 28.
The book of St. Matthew, chapter 11, verse 28. Come unto me, all ye that labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest.
He's going to give us what?
And I will give you rest.
That's why you got to come back to Yahushua himself, the Son. He came to give us that rest. That if we follow and do what he said us to do, then therefore we will come and get that rest that he has given us, that he has waiting on us. But that time ain't right now. Right now, we getting rest when you start doing these law, statutes, and commandments. Some of your lives got a little more comfortable since you've been in the truth. Some of your worries got off your mind since you've been in the truth. Because now you know what's happening. So now you ain't worried about it because now you trust in him instead of trusting in yourself. You getting rested and you don't even know it by being in the truth. You getting comfort by being in the truth. Read.
Take my yoke upon you and learn of me. For I am meek and lowly in heart, and you shall find rest unto your soul.
See, when you give your burdens, everything that you got unto the Most High and trust in him, then you start getting rest. We broken because we worry about stuff. That's a mental breakdown. And that's the thing about it. That's why I don't be caring, man, sometimes. I really don't. I'll be like, man, I just trust the Most High. I might have to ask a brother something for help, but god dang it, I trust the Most High. I'm not finna sit here and be crying and whining. God dang it, man. And y'all act like you know what they do. Why y'all tripping? The dog bit me. It's a dog. That's what they do. And you running by there talking about, I wish this dog quit biting me. Leave him alone then. Just going around him. But no, we gonna keep walking and I'm gonna be with him every time. Then be crying about he bit you every time. Got a room full of Band-Aids just to go mess with this damn dog.
Let's get the yoke of bondage. Go to the book of Galatians chapter 5, verse 1. The yoke that Christ is talking about. The book of Galatians chapter 5, verse 1. Stand fast, therefore, in the liberty wherewith Christ hath made us free, and be not entangled again with the yoke of bondage.
Christ's yoke is going into what? Liberty from sacrificing to atone for sins, and what? The law of sin and death. Meaning what? Certain laws in the Old Testament you could not repent from. You had to sacrifice, or your blood had to be spilled. You had to die. Now, like we say, Christ's yoke is what? Repentance, basically. Even what I touched on in this class, repentance, and not sacrifice. You brothers and sisters understand that. Read on.
Verse 2. Behold, I, Paul, say unto you, that if you be circumcised, Christ shall profit you nothing.
Read on, Doc.
For I testify again to every man that is circumcised, that he is addicted to do the whole law.
So if you want to continue to sacrifice to atone for sins, Christ is letting us know, Paul is letting us know that you will be a debtor to do the whole law. Since you want to do that, then you got to do all of the law. Not that you don't have to keep no laws. When it talks about liberty, it's not talking about you not keeping no laws. It's just talking about the liberty from the law of sin and death, meaning the judgments that you face for breaking God's commandments. That's the liberty that it's talking about. Read on.
Christ has become of no effect unto you. Whosoever of you are justified by the law, ye are fallen from grace.
And Christians pull this all the time. Hey, they got it. But what law is this talking about, brothers? The law of sacrifice. That's what this is talking about, man. Well, why don't say that there? Because Paul's writings are hard to be understood. So if you're not grounded in the Old Testament, a lot of these, and not keeping the commandments, a lot of these things will go over your head, man. Go ahead, Doc.
And if you're Old Testament only Israelite and you still supposed to be making those sacrifices, guess what? You're going to be judged by the sacrifices you're not making.
That too, that's a good point.
Because the fact of the matter is, and then you can tell, I remember that guy I talked to, he said, I was like, man, where you get your sacrifice from? Well, my uncle, he got some land, but I don't think your uncle going to just let you come up there and just start killing his sheep. Because you finna make a sacrifice. Then he told me, I said, well, who's the high priest to do it?
That's right.
He said, I know some Levites. Then the Most High you're going to be judged on that. But that wasn't a Levite that you had just make that sacrifice. That was the wrong sacrifice. That lamb had a bow leg. You're going to be judged on all that. You didn't do that at the temple.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? So
it's way harder.
yeah, at least so that I just said that because the Old Testament just brought it up when I was asking them questions about it. Well, they were trying to have answers that they couldn't answer. Now I'm trying to figure out how you gonna do this. So if you're gonna live that way, Old Testament only, and not take your house shot as the living sacrifice that died for us, then that means you're gonna be judged on everything you're not doing according to the sacrificial law.
And guess what? Even saying that the law is done away with, that's bringing us into bondage too.
Mhm.
That sent us into captivity when we
Yeah.
didn't follow God's laws, man. Jump over to chapter 2 and verse 4, man. Galatians.
The book of Galatians, chapter 2, verse 4. And that because of false brethren, unawares,
Read.
brought in,
Read.
who came in privately to spy out our liberty,
Read on.
which we have in Hamashiach Yahushua,
With the peace that we got in your house, I read.
that they might bring us into bondage.
Because a lot of them, if you got a religion, you bringing us into real bondage. Guess what? If you Old Testament on it, you bringing us into bondage.
Uh-huh.
If you New Testament on it, you bringing us into bondage. If you telling us that not God's laws done away, God's laws, statutes, and commandments is done away, but you bringing us into bondage. There's a lot of things that's bringing us. Guess what? A house out of order is bringing us into bondage.
Mhm.
Children out of order is bringing us. Men out of order is bringing us into bondage. Women out of order is bringing us into bondage. Right? This is something that we're gonna have to learn to get our mind from doing, man. For holding ourselves down. Go ahead.
And that scripture speaks volume because it says that because of false brethren unawares brought in. Because a lot of times we like to say, but this is our brother. It don't matter who it is, any other nation. Esau. And then like even the pastors, that I hear them all the time. TD Snakes. But this is my brother. That's your false brother. Go ahead. And he said, brought in unawares. They weren't supposed to be here. They snuck in. They claim to be your brother, but they not your brother. Brought in unawares, brought in, who came in privately to spy out our liberty. That's our people and the people we claim the other ones is claiming. This we brothers. Esau, what's name his brothers though? All that old crap. They came in privately to spite out our freedom that we have in Yahushua. And how do we get that freedom? By keeping his word. And they coming in looking. You can't keep his law. That's the craziest thing I ever heard. Be like, dang, well, what am I doing then? If we reading the Bible and doing what it tells us to do, I can't do that.
And they keeping some of the law.
On the natural, because he said they keep the law naturally. Some of them got it naturally. Some of them don't kill. It's just a natural thing not to go kill. But we still supposed to keep the whole law, except for the sacrificial law, which is what the brother just brought out earlier. It's the second. Let's go back. Let's start at 4. Isaiah 14 and 4. We're moving now. Verse 4.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 14, verse 4. That thou shalt take up this proverb against the king of Babylon
To
and
who?
say,
To who?
against the king of Babylon.
That's America, y'all. America. Go ahead.
And thou shalt take up this proverb against the king of Babylon and say, how hath the oppressor ceased? The golden city ceased.
How has the oppressor ceased? How is America going to be stopped? How has this golden city, how is it going to be stopped? How is it going to be stopped? Let's go to Habakkuk, chapter 2, and verse 16.
The book of Habakkuk, chapter 2, verse 16. Thou art filled with shameful glory. Drink thou also, and let thy foreskin be uncovered. The cup of the Lord's right hand shall be turned unto thee, and shameful spewing shall be on thy glory. For the violence of Lebanon shall cover thee, and the spoil of the beasts, which made them afraid, because of men's blood, and for the violence of the land of the city, and of all them, and of all that dwell therein.
The Most High said, Yahushua is coming back. He's gonna take care of, because they done destroyed everything. And he's giving you a whole list. So when you go to that, boy, you ever see when they go to that when they go to court and they be bringing on them charges, and they say 3 counts of such and such, 4 counts of this, 5 counts of that. Boy, listen to the charges brought up on them. Read that again. 17.
Verse 17, for the violence of Lebanon shall cover thee, and the spoil of the beast, and the spoil of beasts, which made them afraid because of men's blood, and for the violence of the land, of the city, and of all that dwell therein.
Ain't nobody right now in the court system, boy, not no blacks or Spanish that hadn't got it. Nobody got a rap sheet like that. That's a rap sheet. The animals, the land, the people, all of them felonies. All of them felonies. Boy, I tell you. But read that from 16 again.
Verse 16, thou art filled with shame for glory. Drink thou also, and let thy foreskin be uncovered. The cup of the Lord's right hand shall be turned unto thee, and shameful spewing shall be on thy floors.
The Most High don't turn toward him because of all the things that he have done. How shall this golden city cease? How shall it be stopped? And this is explaining what all they did. Everything bad. Everything. Man, you can't do no... I know I got a whole neighborhood full of goddamn felons. Ain't none of them been this bad. And I know one of them that started when they were 3 years old, man. I got some people that I know, they gone, got 7 years in the penitentiary. I'll never see them again. 60, 45. None of them did nothing like this. Nothing like that. The blood. The animals mad because of the blood they spilled. That's crazy. That's crazy. And they ain't mad because of blood they spilling on the animal. They mad because of blood they spilling the men. Because the grass they gotta eat off of, it don't even taste good no more because they done put so much blood on it.
You kill me.
Yeah, it don't even got the flavor no more. It's like the food we eating today. They done that same thing to the animal. That's crazy, man.
Jump up to verse 6, huh?
Verse 6,
Yes.
shall not all these take up a parable against him, and a taunting proverb,
And a taunting proverb.
and a taunting proverb against him, and say, woe to him that increaseth that which is not his.
Read.
How long? And to him that ladeth himself with thick clay.
Because this is what the other nation did,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because guess what? That's why the Lord said, woe to him that increased, they increased something that ain't theirs. They increased his land, they try to take over land, it ain't even theirs, man. But he said, I discovered it, man.
Mm-hmm. I discovered.
Right?
That's crazy, man. Like I said, it gets deeper and deeper. We can go all day in this, man. That's why I say, just going off 14, when you study, it start going down. And y'all can do the same thing, I promise you, with every chapter in the Bible. When you go through it and start precepting, it's all going to say the same story. Every chapter, they just say the same story. And we just summing things up. Go ahead, you had something?
I'm gonna say, how did they do it? How did they do that though? How did the oppressor get us in this situation? He stand back. Read on. That point.
The book of Habakkuk, chapter 1, verse 4. Therefore the law is slack.
That's exactly right. This is how they oppressed us, because the law was slack. So how did they do it? Because the law was slack. There wasn't no law in this world. Right? We weren't going after the righteousness of the Most High God's law. We were going after what man-made law, what they believed, how they felt. Read on.
Therefore the law is slack, and judgment doeth never go forth.
Judgment don't never go forward now. So this is how they see. This is how they see us, and how they became over us as oppressors. How do? But then 1 and 4 says, how How are we gonna get that back though? What's Proverbs 1? Proverbs 1 and start at 2.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 1, verse 2.
Bring it out.
To know wisdom and instruction, to perceive the words of understanding.
So now the way we gonna cease these heathens from doing this thing is what? Knowing wisdom and instruction. Now we finna start gaining knowledge. That's what we're doing now, right? That's why we're coming to classes on Saturday. That's why we're learning how to keep the new moon, learning how to keep our holy days, learning how to keep our law. That's how we're gonna cease this nation and this city, right? Read that again.
To know wisdom and instruction, to perceive the words of understanding.
And this is how we're gonna get about wisdom. Perceiving the words of understanding. Right? Putting the truth back into the nation of Israel. That's how we're gonna get back and cease this nation from doing these wicked heathens from doing this to us, right? That's all right.
Let's go to Revelation chapter 18. Well, there's one thing I did notice, boy, being in that Christian church, boy. I don't think we ever opened up the book of Revelation, boy. 16 years, boy. I don't think we ever went in that mother. Go ahead. 16.
The book of Revelation, chapter 18, verse 16. And saying, Alas, alas, that great city that was clothed in fine linen, in purple, and scarlet, and decked with gold, and precious stones and pearls. For in 1 hour.
For what?
For in 1 hour.
It ain't gonna take long. It ain't gonna take long. I think it's gonna be this long straight out. Man, Most High said in 1 hour. In 1 hour, 60 minutes, however many seconds that come out to. That's it. It ain't gonna take a long time. It ain't gonna be this long, drawn out thing. You running around trying to find a hiding place. No. 1 hour. Go ahead.
For in 1 hour, so great riches is come to naught.
Uh-huh.
And every shipmaster, and all the company in ships, and sailors, and as many as trade by sea stood afar off.
Stood afar off. Because remember, hey, how do y'all think all this, the merchandise that you buy, what's happening? It comes how? On ships. The wealth of the world is on the land. That's why they got the law of water. I keep telling y'all that all the time. They go by maritime law. Maritime law is the law of water, meaning law on ships. Same way you would, that's why they use the birth certificate. The same way you got the court system. All of that is all got to do with the thing, the way they move around on ships.
Just think about it, even during the COVID times, remember when everything was on lockdown, ships couldn't come into it.
Uh-huh.
So that's why you had the prices of goods doing what, going up, skyrocketing. Hey, even just that little bit can stop trade. Just imagine what thermonuclear fallout is.
Uh-huh.
You know, think about these things, man, because that's the weapon that it's talking about that can stop these things in 1 hour. Do the world have that capability? Yes, they do. These things are very, very serious, brothers and sisters, man. Like we always say Russia got a nuclear weapon called what? Satan 2.
Uh-huh.
Shoot over here from, it goes into the atmosphere, has another projectile that is like 2 rockets in one. It detaches from that and shoots down into the earth. And it can make it over here in the United States in 30 minutes. You know, these things are absolutely real, man.
It can make it in 30 minutes, but I don't know how long it don't even need. So, but what the Most High say? An hour. So it can make it in 30 minutes.
And destroy all in an hour. That's some
In
stuff.
1 hour, man. Y'all, boy, I tell you, man, y'all better get yourself prepared. Get your minds right. Come back to these law, statutes, commandments. Let's go back to Isaiah. We're moving. Go to chapter 5, verse 5. Verse 5.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 14, verse 5. The Lord hath broken the staff of the wicked and the scepter of the rulers.
He said the Lord has broken the staff of the wicked and the scepter of the rulers. The Lord has done these things. This hadn't been done yet, but it's going to be done. Like I said, we summoning up these things.
Who got the precept for wicked? Who is the wicked? Malachi 1 and 4. The Bible defines itself. It's literally telling you who the wicked is, and it gives the characteristics of that nation that is described as the wicked. All races on the planet Earth have characteristics that they do. And the Most High God defines them in the Bible, man.
Yep, and that Hebrews 12 and 16 is going along with that.
That's right.
Where we at?
Job 9 and 24. So it's got the precepts on and on. Yeah, let's read.
Let's read it, man.
Well, we used to put that little turn around, boy. I guess that's probably why we stopped for a while. We used to always do that, hit that. 'Cause that explains it. I mean, it explains it. Go ahead and get that. Read that.
The book of Job, chapter 9, verse 24. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked.
I don't know why they can't understand that and see that. Then you ask them, who run the earth? Boy, everybody had to go silent like, I don't know. Man, you know, you were talking about it at the crib.
That's right.
Who is the man here?
No doubt. Been talking about it, man. You see him on there. What is that song? What the we want you,
We want Uncle Sam.
Uncle Sam. And we always act like we don't know. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. Who runs the earth? That's all you got to do. Simple. Little test. Who run the earth?
Who the man you trying to stick it to?
Yes. Who is it? Somebody tell me. I'm asking y'all the question.
Who is them folks?
There you go. Thank you.
Who is them folks that got, man, he down there with them folks? What folks they talking about? Like, them folks can't pick him up, man. Them folks locked him up. Who's the folks?
No doubt. Who is the man? Who is the folk?
Who you paying taxes to?
And the thing is, brothers that teach out on the streets, we got to hold our people accountable and make them answer that.
Yeah.
They don't want to answer that. Even Esau has our people afraid to speak against him when they not even there.
And then we be outside, and then when they do say it, they whisper. We outside downtown with all these trains running around, people running around, they talking about, what? God dang it. But they then the same one over there yelling and talking loud than a mud. But boy, you asking that question. Who?
They do that every time.
Man, you be like, what? That's how they got us feared, man. We scared to even call them out. But boy, we can go tell on Tyrone. Like I said, boy, we'll go tell him, well, he was down there doing it, and he did that. But who? But when you talking about us, who? Jerome Neal? You lied to them up when you call them out, though. But when you got to call out the real criminal, you want to whisper. Or don't say it at all. They won't even say it. Like, you got to beg them to say it, man. You be like, you know it, but they just refuse to say it. Let's go back.
The book of
Chapter 5. Yeah, you finna say, yeah. Let me go and break the rest of it down. Might as well.
Job 9 and 24 from the top. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covered the faces of the judges thereof.
And then that's another clue. He ain't just telling you this to the wicked. He be like, well, a whole lot of people on earth wicked. But then he's telling you, he covered the faces of the judges thereof. Now we can see, ain't nobody else changed the face of Yahweh but a certain race of people. Ain't nobody went in there and became Abraham and change the face of Abraham, change the face of Solomon, change the face of everybody in this book, except for Samson.
Like, well, that's because he died.
Man, that is crazy. Boy, they go through the same bloodline. When I don't know if y'all seen, they had that series about the Bible. They were doing all the characters, and they go through all of them white till they get to Samson. But Samson in the same bloodline as all of them, but they got him big old black dude.
That's the new Samson.
Huh?
That's the new Samson. The original Samson was Victor Mature. He was a white guy.
Yeah, they changed him.
Yeah, white.
Oh, they flip flopping the Samson, but they ain't flip flopping the other one, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
They told his face
They got him too.
Yeah, boy, that's crazy. Boy. Hey, y'all, so we looking at they changing the faces. They done changed Samson back and forth. He black and white.
It's like we always say, you don't see a Chinese image of Christ. You don't see an East Indian image of Christ.
Or African image of Christ.
Hey, I remember many years ago, they tried to put
On the
a
top.
black on the top.
No, that was a
Jet magazine.
Jet magazine. They put him
Black people was pissed off.
on.
Black people was pissed off that they put a black Christ on Jet magazine.
Yeah.
That show-
Canceling subscriptions and
And
everything.
everything. Almost put them out of business, man. Y'all Google that. Look those things up, man.
And guess what? And even to turn the brown wood white, what does it call? Anybody know what it's called? No, it's not called stain. It's called whitewash.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy. Why you think about the cave? That what they went and did. Whitewash the caves, man. They whitewashed wood. They whitewashed everything, man.
Yeah.
But then but when it comes to town, say, who is the wicked? White. They want to whisper, man. Right?
I want somebody here. Big damn little like
And them people was going against Jet magazine. You know dang on well half the men who had them subscription that was canceling their subscription, they only had Jet magazine for page 42. You know what I'm saying? But that right there disturbing. I don't know about that. They ain't read nothing that day until they had that black one up there. That's the only time they read anything else other than page 42.
You know what page 42 was, man. Look at it, brothers know that. Brothers is hell, man.
I just see that. I see it, man. I'm just saying.
See, because I'm gonna tell you, back then it wasn't a whole lot of what you call it, pornography.
Mm-hmm.
So that was about the highlight of pornography when you seen it, man. Now you can see pornography anywhere, man. Sex sells everything, man.
And you see how all them still know the page. I still remember the page now.
And it was like you said it.
And they know, yeah. And then they know exactly. But I'm just saying, they didn't read that. But when they showed it that black image, now they got a problem with the magazine. That's crazy. That's my point. Let's go back. Yeah, finish it up. See, I forgot that little scripture is, when you read it all the way through, that one verse, boy. Go ahead and finish.
He covered the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he?
Who is he? If not, where and who is he? Even he asked the question. If it ain't him, who is it? I ain't never seen no Arab dude sitting on no cross. I ain't seen not one man on the cross they got a picture of hanging on the cross with a red dot in his head. I haven't seen no image of Bruce Lee on no cross. I haven't seen an image of Shaka Zulu on no cross. This is giving you a clue. If you don't want to take the clues, then you're going to lose the game. Man. Y'all try to win everything else, win that one. Win that one. You think you know everything else? Who is it? But we make it a big mystery too, like when we try to answer it too.
Let's go to 1 Maccabees chapter 1, verse 7 right quick. Just to give you some more on who the wicked is. How when they came into reign, evils were multiplied in the earth. Remember, it was already evil in the world, but when this particular nation came into power, Most High God let you know, no, this is a real evil right here.
Mm-hmm.
You get that, read that out.
The book of First Maccabees, chapter 1, verse 7. So Alexander reigned 12 years and then died.
This is Alexander the Greek. This is a real man, a real historical figure. The first white man that rose up to conquer the known world. Read on.
And his servants bare rule, every one in his place.
Uh-huh.
And after his death, they all put crowns upon themselves.
So who knows the four generals that it's talking about? Any brother know? What you got out? Lysimachus,
Lassinger,
Lysander,
Lysander,
Cassander, so like Cassander. Lysimachus, Cassander, who else? Ptolemy,
and Seleucus.
and Seleucus. These are actual people that lived on the planet Earth, man.
Write it down. Because brothers and sisters, and guess what? We be going over this over and over again. Guess what, brothers? Half the brothers that been here should have been raising their hand.
That's why we tell you, write it in your Bible, man. Seleucus. Ptolemy. Lysimachus. Cassander. Google it. Google every damn thing. Brother Booker, the king of Google. Cassander. Put in there Alexander's four generals. And it'll, that's an easy way for brothers and sisters to see it. Alexander the Greek, four generals.
And that's why a lot of times go get your study Bible, because mine have the Maccabees in it, and it goes through those generals.
Cassander, Cassander.
Study. Like I say, study to show yourself approved, Booker. We can't give you everything now. You want us to spell it for you? Let's go back 5 again. Read 5. You ain't embarrassed, are you? I ain't even hit your car.
Hell no, yeah.
You got you on your shirt, you mad. You bad. Go ahead.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 14, verse 5. The Lord hath broken the staff of the wicked and the scepter of the rulers.
Let's go to Psalms 125 and 3.
The book of Psalms, chapter 125, verse 3. For the rod of the wicked shall not rest upon the lot of the righteous, lest the righteous put forth their hands unto iniquity.
Until what?
Unto iniquity.
Now, y'all know what that rod means. Y'all know the scepter, right? The rod that, you know what the king had? Like when you got the staff, they got the
scepter.
Yeah, I can't say it right, but he said it.
An instrument that a king holds to show rulership.
Yes. That right there, it will not be able to sit on you if you're keeping these law, statutes, and commandments. The only way they can have control and rulership over your life is if you are doing what? Read that again.
Put forth their hands unto iniquity.
If you're going into sin.
Read it from that lest
the righteous.
Lest the who?
Lest the righteous.
Lest the righteous. Israelites that are keeping the commandments. Read on.
Put forth their hands unto iniquity.
And that's a heavy precept that I just bring down, man. Unless, guess what? Bad things happen when we do what? When we break God's commandments.
Yep.
It's as simple as that. Brothers and sisters want to know why certain situations. And don't get me wrong, like we say.
Yeah, it rains on
the just and the unjust. But it's a difference between judgments.
Yes.
You know if your behind is being judged for sin that you are doing. Rather you're going through trials and tribulations. Only you know that.
That's the difference.
That's the difference.
And you know yourself better
That's
than
right.
anybody up in this room. You know you. We only know what you show us and what the Most High shows. But you know you. You can lie to yourself, or you can tell the truth and come clean and start straightening your body out, straighten your mind up. Let's go to Proverbs 16. Did we finish that? Yeah, we finished that. Go ahead. 16, start at 5.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 16, verse 5. Everyone that is proud in heart is an abomination to the Lord. Though hand join in hand, he shall not be unpunished.
He said, just because you proud to be with these other nations, you proud to have that good job, you proud to sit, I'm a businessman, I'm a lawyer, I'm this, all this, so you proud to be that? Just because you done got friends with them, guess what? You ain't gonna stop nothing. Read that again.
Proverbs 16, verse 5. Everyone that is proud in heart is an abomination to the Lord.
You an abomination. Go ahead.
Though hand join in hand,
Just because you friends with him, go ahead.
he shall not be unpunished.
You ain't taking that judgment off of him. You ain't taking that judgment off of him. Go ahead.
Verse 6. By mercy and truth, iniquity is purged.
By what?
By mercy and truth.
By the mercy that the Most High God gave us, and by this law, statutes, and commandment, this how you purge that out of you. This how you get out of the situation you in. Go ahead.
And by the fear of the Lord, men depart from evil.
By the what?
By the fear of the Lord, men depart from evil.
By keeping God's laws, that means you fear God. By keeping His laws, meaning you fear the judgment if you don't keep His laws. By that, that's how you depart from evil. Go ahead.
Verse 7. When a man ways please the Lord, he maketh even his enemies to be at peace with him.
That's why they did nothing to you at the job. They been wanting to fire you the last 3 years. You be late every other week. You don't use all your sick days plus more. I done use all my 6 days, then still fill out some 6 days that I ain't got. They still pay me for it. Yeah, they been wanting to let you go, man. Why haven't? Because when you keep these laws, statutes, and commandments, He be at peace with you. Believe me, they want to kill us on them streets. They want to kill us. I can promise you that. When we go by, they walk by. I'm talking about even the one like the one you deal with. Boy, that was a straight up. That man he just took his sheet off before he came to y'all. But that man that man wanted to hurt y'all, man. I was looking at that video. I wasn't even over there. I was sitting on the side, me and Jerry Bob. I looked at that man wanted to hurt you, Ben. Like, but why can't he? Because them laws, statutes, and commandments keep them at peace. He growling. He probably went home and slapped his wife. Because he couldn't do nothing to you. And that's how y'all got to be with these laws. Don't worry about how they coming at you. I know the Most High. Don't worry about what they doing to you. You know the Most High. You keep His law. Your trust is in Him. When you got that trust like that, you can stand bold. I ain't saying stand proud. I said stand bold. Because He said the proud is what? An abomination.
We got the precept to Proverbs 16 and 6 we got the precept. All praise, man. Say it loud, man.
Romans 13 and 1.
All praise, huh? Let's get that right quick. Old Testament to New Testament, man.
Here a little. There it is.
Bringing out both old and new treasures out of the scriptures, man.
Book of Romans, chapter 13, verse 1.
Bring it out.
Let every soul be subject unto the higher powers. For there is no power but of God. The powers that be.
The what?
The powers that be.
The what, brothers?
The powers that be.
Read on.
Are ordained of God.
Read on.
For whosoever Whosoever therefore resisteth the power, resisteth the ordinance of God. And they that resist shall receive to themselves damnation.
So the Most High God is letting us know when we go outside of these commandments, hey, the Most High God uses the wicked to punish us.
Mm-hmm.
Ain't no power but the Most High God. The people that are in charge is because guess what? We didn't do our part. Go ahead, Al.
Yep, they ordained of God. Let's go to Matthew 4:17. See, I was going to the New Testament. Nobody there. Might as well go and get this. 4, Matthew 4, verse 17.
The book of St. Matthew, chapter 4, verse 17. From that time, Yahushua began to preach and to say, repent, for the kingdom of heaven is at hand.
And that's what we're telling y'all today. Repent, come out of sin, because the kingdom of heaven is at hand. We need to get out of sin, and that's how we receive everything that we read now. You want to break your boss down? Keep these laws, statutes, and commandments.
You know what? You want to break generational curse?
Keep these laws, statutes, and commandments, not your career. Your career ain't gonna do nothing but get you more money, and that more money gonna get you more problems. That more problems gonna get you thrown in that pit.
Because guess what? And we were listening to something coming to class, man. Shout out to Group them, man. Like you say, when you thinking about your job, that's all you thinking about, man. When you thinking about your house, that's all you thinking about. When you thinking about, if this consumes your brain, that's what you think about. That's what the Lord is talking about, where you lay your treasure up and where your heart will be. So no matter what your mind is wrapped around, you will be there. So if you wrap your mind on doing the Lord's work, you'll be there. Guess what? If you wrap your mind around doing other things, you're going to be there. So you have to choose where you want to be at in this world, man.
That's like, boy, when I get off and get to that house, boy, I don't want to think nothing about that job no more. I don't want to even think about it. I don't want to even bring it up. Don't want the clothes on my back no more. Just because, man, that's work is work. There ain't nothing I like.
Let's get so like go ahead.
I know. You go ahead.
Let's get what Ak was talking about. Let's go to the book of Sirach, chapter 38, verse 24. That's why it's very important for brothers and sisters to have leisure time. Like I be on myself, even awkward schedules, you have to push yourself, man, to read, to stay spiritual. Push yourself to keep the commandments. Sirach 38 and verse 24.
The book of Sirach, chapter 38, verse 24. The wisdom of a learned man cometh by opportunity of leisure, and he that had little business shall become wise.
So it's giving us the context of what it is talking about. The wisdom of a learned man. Jump down to verse 33.
Verse 33. They shall not be sought for in public counsel.
When you read on down, it's going into people that have jobs. Read on up.
Nor sit high in the congregation. They shall not sit on the judgments on the judge's seat.
So this is going into brothers and sisters that put their jobs over the work of the Most High. Read on up.
Nor understand the sentence of judgment.
So they won't understand judgment. When captains is bringing out judgment, they don't understand it. Or when the scriptures is saying certain things, they don't understand it. Read on.
They cannot declare justice and judgment.
Read that again, Ak.
They cannot declare justice and judgment. And
knowing right from wrong. Read on.
And they shall not be found where parables are spoken.
Meaning when captains are going over and speaking and breaking down certain scriptures, brothers and sisters are nowhere around. Read on, Ak.
But they will maintain the state of the world.
Read that again, Ak.
But they will maintain the state of the world.
Read on, Ak.
And all their desire is in the work of their craft.
Going into what? People don't care about nothing but what? Their job. Maintaining America's government. That's what our people care about, man. Go ahead, Ak.
Let's go back to Isaiah. Let's go at 6. 14 and verse 6.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 14, verse 6. He who smote the people in wrath with a continual struggle. He that ruled the nations in anger is persecuted and none hindered.
And none hindered it. It is persecuted. Who done that? Let's go to Psalm 43:1.
The book of Psalms, chapter 43, verse 1. Judge me, O God, and plead my cause against an ungodly nation. O deliver me from the deceitful and unjust man.
And what?
From the deceitful and unjust man.
And that's what he was doing when he's talking about in 14:6. Who smote the people with a continuous stroke. And he that ruled the nation in anger. And that's what he said, from an unjust man. He's asking him, deliver me from this unjust man. Because do we get justice? No, I just seen the police ad on the thing beat up a child at school. They got fired, but they ain't go to jail. Then, like I said, killing a black man is so. You get a 2-week vacation. You go home with pay. Then come back to work. Then, if they do let you go, you can go to another police department and get a higher rate on them. And go kill somebody over in another city. They don't got justice. If that's the, why do you think the prisons is 80% us? Why do you think it's filled with blacks and Hispanics? Is it me or is it white people not doing any crimes? Or they not? Bodies found all over the place. But they ain't going to penitentiary. They get probation. How you kill somebody and get probation? How? We don't get that. As soon as you smoke that weed, Negro, it's time for you to go to the penitentiary. Not jail. We skip jail now. But it ain't no justice here. What's the time on that? No. That's all. All right, I'm gonna do a little bit. I'm gonna finish that up. I'll do that. Let me let's go back. 'Cause I got lots. Let's go back. No. Let's go to Proverbs 28:8. Man, when I was doing this class, and I was precepting this class, and I was going, man, that'd take a long time to just get through that. But y'all be rushing through these little old readings. I read it. Like you done. Y'all be just getting the Jeremiah be telling, hey, read 4 chapters. And y'all get that and read it. Y'all just trying to hurry up and get through 4 chapters. But did you get to understand it? Did you break it down? See, because if you read 4 chapters, it dang near gonna take you dang near 4 days. That's how you should be studying. Don't just get it and read it. Yeah, I did what Jeremiah said. I read 4. Go back and question you on it. You won't know nothing about it. What's the precept for that? Verse 3. See, like we in right now, we done did what? 2-hour class. We only on verse 6. But then I talk a lot. So take 30 minutes, 40 minutes off that. Let's go to 28, Proverbs 28:8.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 28, verse 8. He that by usury and unjust gain increaseth his substance.
How does he do it?
By usury and unjust gain increaseth his substance. He shall gather for him that will pity the poor.
That will what?
That will pity the poor.
He that by usury and unjust gain That's how he got all this stuff. Who's the poor? Who's the poor? Who's the poor according to the way Benaniah wants you to answer it?
Say it again. All praise God.
Y'all,
Hold on.
light is talking me.
Yeah, man. You say it, man.
That ain't even that. Why do brothers talk like? Because brothers unsure, they say.
Yeah. You have it in your eyes. I don't know. I think it's
It
that.
sound good.
It's sad. Brothers be unsure. Hey man, this is a school. It's okay to be wrong.
Yeah, if you're wrong, you just wrong. You will just say wrong and go on to the next one. For real.
Man, look, if they make you feel any better, boy, they done told me a lot of times, oh, no, they don't go with that.
Yeah, he's
When I
coming to me
first
all the
started-
time. Man, do this, go with that. No. He be like, yeah, it got to. I said, all right, let me show you. And he just take it like, oh, okay, I understand.
I'm sitting right next to you.
Isaiah 14:32.
All praise.
All praise.
I thought he said first.
Read that right quick, God. To show you that it's not talking about the East Indian people that's over there suffering, or the big potbelly Somalians, or the Ethiopians. Let's see what it's talking about, man.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 14, verse 32. What shall one then answer? The messengers of the nations, that the Lord had founded Zion, and the poor of his people.
And the poor of who?
And the poor of his people
The poor of his people, the poor of Zion. Read on.
shall trust in it.
That's who it's talking about. That's who the poor is. The poor of Israel, man. Poor in spirit and poor physically, financially.
Yep.
We need to talk about poor of another nation.
No doubt. It said nothing about them little snotty-nosed white kids. Don't care. He talking about the poor of Israel. Finish as 28, Proverbs.
Proverbs 28 and 8. He that by usury and unjust gain increaseth his substance, he shall gather for him that will pity the poor.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 9. He that turneth away his ear from hearing the law.
From hearing the what?
From hearing the law.
From hearing the what?
From hearing the law.
Amen. Hold on. Is that simple? He that turneth this way from hearing the law, what happened?
Even his prayer shall be an abomination.
So quit lying and telling me you pray. Don't pray for me. You don't keep no law. Can I pray with? No. No, do not pray for me, because I know darn well you just wasting your breath. And you got me smelling it. I don't need it. Get away from me, because your prayers are not going to be heard. If you ain't keeping the law, I didn't say that. Did I just say that? Or did the Bible just say that? That right there should cut every Christian that say the laws are done away with.
You cut every Israelite that go with the sea.
Yeah.
It don't matter. If you turn your way from hearing what God say, it's just like if the son talking to the father or mother. You don't listen to nothing they say, you think they gonna listen to you back. It makes no sense. If your children just start talking, you ask your children, you tell your children to do something, they start telling you, well, I ain't been listening to you. What you think gonna happen when you need something?
Mm-hmm.
They ain't gonna listen back to you either. Right? So that's a just weight in a just balance. Right? With the Most High God. That's a really just weight. Why should I listen to you, nigga? You ain't listening to me.
Exactly.
I told you to wash the dishes. Guess what? You ain't do it, but now you want something. No, don't ask for this. Don't ask
No
for
doubt. You ain't going to get it, because you ain't got it.
Got it.
Verse 10.
Verse 10. Whoso causeth the righteous to go astray in the evil way, he shall fall himself into his own
He
pit.
said what?
He shall fall himself into his own pit.
See, a lot of times, I mean, hey, even ourselves, period. If you cause people to go away from this truth, God dang it, you're going to fall in your own pit. And all the snares and the traps that they put out there for us, guess what? They going to be the ones getting caught up by them. I brought some of this out on that Burnt Toast Tuesday. they gonna be caught up. They gonna get the ones falling in them pits. When they got that, when they brought crack out, thought they'd take the black community out. All of a sudden they gotta shut it down. Why? Because you know, like I know, boy, we making our money not from the black people. Black people now have no money. But guess who coming up on them blocks, in them hoods? They ain't been back since crack stopped. Them white men. And you know, like I know, them mothers used to flood our neighborhoods, boy. We got rich off them. Now all of a sudden, we got to put an end to it. C-19. They had it, that comes out. They created that. We got to stop that. But why? Because it affected more than they thought. It affected their people. They falling in them traps. All the traps they got set for you, they falling in them traps. I'm gonna get this last one, and I'm gonna either come on Tuesday. I'll finish it up. We're gonna stay in Proverbs, go to 29 and 27. Somebody give me a law, please.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 29, verse 27. An unjust man is an abomination to the just, and he that is upright in the way is an abomination to the wicked.
An unjust man is an abomination to the just. And the Bible y'all talking about we ain't supposed to hate him. The Bible telling you, man, he's an abomination to you. Go ahead. If he's not an abomination to you, that means you unjust too. Go ahead.
And he that is upright in the way is abomination to the wicked.
And if you upright in the way, they can't stand you. You keeping these laws, they can't stand you. Women wearing dresses, they can't stand y'all. That's why they question y'all when y'all got dressed. I notice you wear your dress all the time. I notice you don't wear pants. I notice y'all got them shirts. Y'all always got them dang old things dangling from you. Somebody got a law?
Yeah. Go to the book of
And
Leviticus.
ain't nothing. We stopping. Make sure we stopping at Let me get you taken that quick. We stopped at verse 6. Burnt Toast Tuesday. I resume this. Started from verse 7. Yeah, we're going 7 to 23. And I start at verse 7. We'll start at verse 7 on Tuesday. And on that one, we're going to be in the class for the day. But you know how we do. At the end of every class, we got to give you a law, statute, or a commandment. So y'all can say, hey, you can't say you ain't heard it. Because you're going to say, hey, we heard it there. So, better not you had one?
Yeah, Leviticus chapter 25 and verse 17.
The book of Leviticus, chapter 25, verse 17. Ye shall not therefore oppress one another, but thou shalt fear thy God, for I am the Lord your God.
You should
again.
know. Yeah.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Yeah, read it.
The book of Leviticus, chapter 25, verse 17. Ye shall not therefore oppress one another.
What?
Ye shall not therefore oppress one another.
Man, why would you want to oppress each other, man? We got so much oppression going on. Why we oppress each other? Why we always whining and crying about what somebody else did to you or what they didn't do for you? Always oppressing each other. We think the white man is the only one who can be our oppressor. We oppress each other. Go ahead.
But thou shalt fear thy God.
What?
But thou shalt fear thy God.
See, when you fear the Most High God, you'll learn how to love your brothers and sisters, how to treat them accordingly. Let's get to it. Stop the madness. And on that note, we're going to say shalom.
Shalom.